Okay, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I want to present to you about my midterm project. It is cross-cultural understanding. There are two parts. The part one is presentation project, language and structure. The topic that I choose is intercultural communication and ensuring business success through communication. And the part 2 of the project, it is about to solve the problem. Okay, next for the part 1. For the topic number 1, intercultural communication. The definition and the concept is the intercultural communication refers to the process of exchanging information between individuals from different cultural backgrounds, involving verbal and non-verbal interactions that are influenced by cultural values, norms, and perceptions. According to Semover, Porter and McDaniel in 2017, in communication between cultures, intercultural communication occurs when a message is produced by a member of one culture and received by a member of another culture whose cultural receptions and symbol system differ enough to alter the communication event. This means that communication is not only about language but also about understanding how culture shapes meaning, behavior, and interpretation. Okay, and for the importance in a globalized world, in today interconnected society, intercultural communication is essential for global cooperation, diplomacy, business, and education. According to Gadi Kant and Kim in 2017, in communicating with strangers emphasize that intercultural communication competence is crucial for reducing uncertainty and anxiety in interactions among culturally diverse individuals. So, the globalization has brought people from diverse cultural backgrounds into contact more than ever before through technology, international education, and multinational cooperation. The effective intercultural communication, it helps to build a mutual understanding and respect, to avoid conflict and misinterpretation, to promote collaboration in global teams. So, like example, a 2020 McKinsey report found that companies with strong intercultural communication and diversity strategies are 35% more likely to outperform competitors in innovation and decision making. Okay, next it is about common challenge. I have the table for the common challenge. So this is challenge description example. So the challenge of language barriers. Description is misinterpretation due to translation errors or idioms. Like example, break a leg may confuse non-native speakers. Next challenge is stereotypes, is oversimplified assumptions about a culture. Like example, assuming all Americans are outspoken or all Asian are shy. Last challenge is different communication styles. It is variation in directness, tone, and or context. Like for example, Western cultures use direct speech. Asian cultures often use indirect speech to maintain harmony. According to Edward T. Halls in 1976, the theory of high context and low context cultures explains this difference. For high context cultures, it is like, for example, Japan, Indo, Arab countries rely too heavily on non-verbal cues and shared understanding. Next, the low context cultures, like for example, like Germany, USA, and Scandinavia, it's depend on explicit and direct communication. For the real life example, Google expansion to China in 2006 until 2010. Okay, it is Google faced challenge adapting to China's high context culture and government regulations concerning censorship. The company's Western emphasis on information freedom conflict with China collective and politically sensitive communication norms. This misalignment led to breakdown in trust and Google's eventual withdrawal from the market. So the expert insight, according to Milton J. Bennett in 1993, towards ethno-relativism, argues that the key to effective intercultural communication is empathy, to the ability to experience the world from another perspective, which means developing empathy, tolerance, and open-mindedness allows communicators to bridge cultural gaps and interact successfully in diverse environments. Okay, next topic, it is about ensuring business success through communication. You see, the definition and overview is communication in business refers to the exchange of ideas, information, and message within and outside an organization to achieve strategic goals. According to Peter Drucker in 2006, the most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said. This means that understanding implicit message, emotions, and cultural signals is crucial to organizational success. The effective communication ensures that employees, managers, and stakeholders are aligned with the company's vision, goals, and values. Okay, the role of communication in business success. There are 5 roles. The first role is enhance productivity. It is clear communication prevents errors and reduce confusion. Second is build trust and teamwork. Open dialogue creates a supportive environment. Third is improves decision making. Exchanging information leads to better strategies. The fourth is strengthens leadership. It is effective leaders inspire and guide through transparent communication. And the fifth is supports customer relations. It is to understanding client needs build loyalty. According to Keaton in 2011 in Communication and Organizational Culture, organizational success is directly linked to how effectively member exchange, interpret, and respond to message. Okay. Next, it is about cultural awareness in business. Okay. In international business, communication success depends on understanding cultural norms and values. Using Housefield's cultural dimension theory in 1980. So, it is individualism versus collectivism. Western countries like the US value independence, while Asian cultures prioritize group harmony. The second is power distance. In high power distance, countries like Japan or Indonesia respect for the hierarchy influence how employees communicate with leaders. The third is continuity avoidance. Some cultures like Germany prefer to structure communication and clear rules. Okay. Real company example. So this is the real company example that I've got in Toyota Motor Corporation. Toyota's global success is often credited to its Kaizen culture, which emphasizes continuous improvement and internal communication. Employees are encouraged to share ideas and feedback regardless of position, bridging cultural and hierarchical gaps. And the result is Toyota internal communication strategy has improved employee engagement and innovation worldwide, making it one of the most trusted automotive brands. According to Liker in 2004, in the Toyota Way, Toyota's strength lies in its people and its communication system, which foster respect, learning, and mutual trust across cultures. Okay. Next, it is about the communication failure example. So the failure example is from Nokia's decline in 2007 until 2012. Nokia's top management failed to communicate transparently with engineers and teams, leading to confusion, internal fear, and a lack of innovation. The company's communication culture discouraged disagreement, which contribute to its market loss to Apple and Samsung. So the next is strategy for ensuring communication success. There are 5 strategies. The first is develop cross-cultural competence. It is to provide intercultural communication training for employees. The second is encourage feedback and transparency. It's allow to discussion without fear. The third is adapt message to audience. It's use culturally appropriate tone and examples. Fourth is leverage technology. It's use collaboration tools that support global teams. The fifth is lead by example. Leaders should demonstrate effective communication practice. So for the expert insight, according to Daniel Goleman in 1998, in working with emotional intelligence notes, leaders who communicate with empathy and clarity create emotionally intelligent organization capable of long-term success. It means effective communication is not only a skill but a strategic asset that determines the survival and growth of global businesses. Okay. So in conclusion, for the 2 topic in this part 1, intercultural communication is the process of sharing ideas between people from different cultural backgrounds, requiring awareness of language, values, and behavior. It helps reduce misunderstandings and promotes respect in a globalized world. According to experts like Samovar and Hall, successful intercultural interaction depends on empathy and adaptability to different communication styles. Similarly, effective communication is essential for achieving business success. It strengthens teamwork, leadership, and trust, especially in multicultural environments. According to Peter Drucker and Daniel Goleman, highlight that Organizations thrive when leaders communicate with clarity, emotional intelligence, and cultural sensitivity. In a sense, both topics show that mastering communication, both cross cultures and within business, is the foundation for collaboration, innovation, and long-term success in today's interconnected world. So that is for the part 1. And next, it is the part 2, case study and analysis, project do all numbers. So I want to solve it the case. There are 3 cases. The first is cultural barriers. The second is cross-cultural communication for business, and case study number 3 is non-verbal communication. So this is the case study number 1, the cultural barriers. The first scenario is a team of employees from Indonesia, Germany, and Japan are working together on a joint technology project. During meetings, the German manager often gives direct feedback. The Japanese members remain silent when they disagree, and the Indonesian team tries to avoid confrontation to maintain harmony. After several weeks, communication starts to break down, deadlines are missed, and misunderstanding occur. So, how to solve it? So, I have the answer. First is main cultural barriers. The first is different communication styles, like Germans, all context, direct, and task oriented. For the Japanese and Indonesians is high context and direct, relationship oriented. Okay. Discuss misinterpretation. Germans may seem rude, while Asian may seem uncooperative. Second is about power distance. According to Hosted in 1980, Japan and Indonesia have high power distance. Employees hesitate to question authority. And Germany has low power distance. Open discussion in encourage. This leads to unequal participation in meetings. Next, it is about the uncertainty avoidance. Japan and Germany prefer structured communication, while Indonesia is more flexible, cause confusion about deadlines and procedure. Okay, so that it is about the main cultural barriers. So, and for the data and evidence, according to Hosted Insight in 2023, power distance, Indonesia 78, and Japan is 54, and Germany is 35. In individualism, Germany is 67, is more individualistic, while Indonesia 14 and Japan 46 are more collectivist. For the communication style, according to Hall, 1976 classifies Japan and Indonesia as high context, Germany as low context. These differences explain why silence and indirectness are common in Asian teamwork, while directness dominates Western communication. For the number 3, it is about impact and teamwork and decision making. First is misinterpretation of silence as agreement, and lack of feedback delays project progress, emotional tension and loss of trust, poor decision making due to limited participation from all cultures. So in the last part of the case study number 1 is strategies to overcome barriers, to solve it with it is the first is intercultural training. It's educate team members on cultural norms and communication styles. Second is clear communication rules. Encourage balanced participation, set explicit meeting guidelines, like for example, everyone must give input. Number 3 is use mediators or cultural liaisons. It's a neutral facilitator, can bridge cultural gaps and promote understanding. So that is for the answer for the case study number 1. Next, it is case study number 2, cross-cultural communication for business. Scenario is an Indonesian furniture company, Tropical Craft, is expanding to European market. The company's marketing team creates advertisements emphasizing family values and community spirit. However, the campaign receives little attention from European audience, who view the ads as overly emotional and lacking professionalism. So I have the answer to solve it. The first is analysis of the failure. Okay, the failure result from cross-cultural miscommunication in marketing message. It is Indonesian ads reflect to collectivism and high context communication. It's focusing on emotion and togetherness, while in the European audience prefer individualism and low context communication. It's focusing on product quality, professionalism, and facts. According to Hofstede in 1980, in Indonesia, high collectivism score 14. Most European countries is high individualism score 70 plus, and cultural values strongly influence advertising in preference. Okay, so next it is solve about the supporting data. A study by Demoy in 2019 found that Asian ads emphasize social harmony and relationships, while European ads highlight personal success and achievement. European consumers respond better to logical appeals and concise information rather than emotional storytelling. Okay, so that. The third is cultural values affecting the campaign. I have the table here. This is cultural dimension, Indonesia, Europe, impact. So, the cultural is individualism versus collectivism. In Indonesia, collectivist and values family. In Europe, individualist values self and achievement. So, the impact is emotional appeal didn't connect with target audience. Next, it is high versus low context. Indonesia is high context, implicit, and Europe is low context, explicit. The impact is message unclear for Europeans. Next, it is cultural dimension of power distance. Indonesia is high, Europe is moderate. The impact is influence, tone, and formality in ads. Okay. Number 4, revised marketing strategy. It's focused on product quality, innovation, and design rather than emotional values. Use clear visual and factual information suit to low context auditions. Adapt slogans using universal values like sustainability and craftsmanship. Collaborate with local marketing experts to align with European consumers and expectations. Like for example, like IKEA's success comes from using localized culturally sensitive marketing, emphasizing simplicity and functionality. Okay, next, the last case study number 3. It is nonverbal communication. The scenario is during a business negotiation between a US company and Arab client in Dubai. The American representative repeatedly checked his watch and maintains a wide personal distance. The Arab client interprets this behavior as impatience and disrespect, leading to a tense atmosphere and failed negotiation. So the first answer for this case study to solve it, the nonverbal issues. First is time perception, chronomics. American use monochronic time, like for example value punctuality and efficiency. In Arabs use polychronic time. It is flexible value relationship over schedules. Checking the watch seems rude to Arabs, while who prioritize human connection. Okay. Number 2 is personal space, proxemics. Okay. Americans prefer wide personal space in 1 meter. Arabs prefer closer distance when speaking as a sign of trust. The American distance felt cold and disrespectful. And number 3 is body language and eye contact. Arabs use prolonged eye contact to show sincerity. Americans may find uncomfortable. So, according to Hall in 1966, in The Hidden Dimension, spatial behavior and time orientation vary across cultures and carry strong emotional meanings. Okay. So number 2, to research evidence. So a study by Knapp and Hall in 2010 notes that 65% of meaning in intercultural interaction is transmitted non-verbally. Okay. The gesture, posture, and tone are interpreted differently across cultures, affecting relationship building and trust. Next, it is impact on business negotiation. Okay, it is misinterpretation of nonverbal signals led to loss of rapport and failure to close the deal. The Arab client perceived the Americans' behavior as lack of respect and commitment. Cultural ignorance damages trust. Okay. Number 4 is strategies to prevent future issues. It is cultural briefing. It's study partners non-verbal norms before meetings. Okay. Adapt body language. It show warmth and patience appropriate to local customs. Build relationships first. It spend time on personal connection before discussing business. And the last is observe and mirror behavior. It's respectfully adjust gestures and tone to match the partner's comfort level. Okay, I guess just that. that I want to present you about my midterm project, cross cultural cross cultural understanding. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video project.